I used to think I was manifesting like crazy, and it completely backfired. If you ever feel like your energy and your actions are not on the same page, stay with me. This video is going to help you change the way you view manifesting forever. As an emotional manifesting generator, I had to learn this the hard way through burnout and then a breakthrough. But it took a long time and a lot of energy. Deep down, I had a belief about manifesting that kept me stuck. That belief was so deep-rooted that I didn't even realize it for years later. And I finally realized that the belief that manifesting was about money was what was keeping me stuck in my money, keeping me stuck in not really manifesting what I really wanted to manifest into my life. So in the beginning, I talked about that I used to manifest like crazy. Well, the things that were coming into my life that I was manifesting weren't the things that I really, really wanted. And I think that this is what happens with people when we're manifesting about money. We actually bring in more money problems. Oops, sorry, baby. Oh my God, I just bumped her head, poor baby. I started realizing that we're inviting more problems, more money problems when we're manifesting through angst and pressure and unhappiness. Now, for many, many people, understandably so, happiness comes from being able to pay your bills without any problems or without any worries. And so much discomfort comes from worrying about our capacity to pay our bills. And believe me, I really think that that is the reason that so many people are stuck in their belief about manifesting and stuck in their money problems and their money issues, because we're not looking at manifesting in the right way. But for this video, we're going to stick on the topic of money. I'm going to put you down, baby. The key question here is, how am I reacting when I'm talking about money or making money or getting ready to pay my bills or avoiding paying my bills? How am I reacting to the feelings that are coming up around paying? Do we have a schedule? Are we communicating with our partner or our family? Do we discuss who is going to manage the money? Do we discuss how we're going to divide up or catch up on credit card debt that we're collecting? Do we discuss how we're going to raise our vibration when we're talking about money, or really when we're talking about paying our bills? How are we going to feel good about paying our bills? So, funny story, years ago when I first started learning about manifesting, I was taking a course with Kathleen Cameron, and I really enjoyed her down-to-earth approach about manifesting. It really spoke to me. This came to life in a situation where I saw my husband sitting at the kitchen table, and he was in complete angst over the bills that had to be paid. And he's looking at all the bills and he's grunting and hemming and hawing over it. And I said, "What's happening right now?" And mind you, I was new to this, and so we weren't having these conversations at home. So I said, "What is happening right now?" He said, "Well, we have this bill to pay and that bill to pay and this bill to pay." And I said, "Well, based off of your response here, do we have the money to pay the bills?" And he said, "Yes, but I have to send it all to these accounts to pay these bills." And this was a wonderful opportunity to express to my husband this new thing I had been learning about with manifestation. And so I gathered up all the bills, and I had this nice, neat little stack of the bills. And I looked at it and I said, paid. Next, paid. Next, paid. We have the money to pay these bills. Imagine what this would feel like if we didn't have the money, but we have it. So we can say paid, 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 and we can start feeling good about the ability to pay. And that really put us in a very, very fortunate position. So when you're in the position of sitting down to pay your bills, what energy are you bringing to the table? as you're collecting your items, as you're getting your checkbook or going online. Does anybody do that anymore? But as you're going online to pay your bills and divide up your money, what position, what feeling, what posture are you going to have the next time that you're sitting to pay your bills? Now, this is an easy starter for manifestation and bringing in the energy, the feel-good energy of taking care of this duty and the thing that you must do. The next thing I want to say here, I know I've been talking a lot about manifestation, but I want to tell you and I want to remind you that I'm not a manifestation coach. I consider myself a life coach. And the reason I choose to talk about manifesting in the Woopreneur Collective is that because I believe when we are in a position to manifest good things into our life, we are actually living life. He's growling at my feet. If you have been doing everything right and still feel like you're spinning your wheels, it's not because you're not aligned enough. It's because your energy and your actions are not moving together. In my training, Flowstate Manifesting, I show you how to create from ease instead of effort. You'll learn how to trust your energy, recognize when to act, and finally feel the rhythm of flow again. It's the same process that helped me rebuild my business and my peace at the same time. Click the link below and I will walk you straight through my process. We are actually living life as we are meant to. We are being our true selves. When we're manifesting and bringing in good things, this is evidence that we are living the life that we're meant to live. So manifesting is a huge part of the Woopreneur Collective. And I'm going to teach you how I learned to manifest into my own life. And believe me, it is still a work in progress. But we are really, truly living the life that we have manifested into our own lives through starting with how do we handle and take care of money. It is always a work in progress. So the other thing that I want to share is that in our human experience, we are here to learn and grow. Our human experience is here for the purpose of learning and growing and loving each other and being present with each other. This has ripple effects in our family, has ripple effects in humanity and our community, and it goes a long way when we learn that this is what we are meant to do. And as we take things like money management into consideration, this is a great opportunity to train ourselves to learn to work together, to love each other through the shifts and the challenging times in this expansion, this time of expansion and this time of growth and learning. Because when we do that, our next area of growth becomes more available to us. We are more susceptible to receiving, susceptible to learning, and going into things with curiosity and love and grace. So the challenging thing is, what do we do when we don't actually have the money to pay our bills, but yet we have bills that we must pay? When we can position ourselves to look at this in a more positive light, then ideas will come to us that will make things easier to move through. Will we always have the money in the beginning when we're still learning how to manifest and how to bring in more money into our lives by clearing our mindset, by positioning ourselves to be filled with love and gratitude for what we do have and what we can do? It isn't always going to be easy, and it isn't always going to come right on time, especially in the beginning. But the more you position yourself to be susceptible to receiving, the more money will come right on time. And I say that with caution because it is not, when we're stuck in a misbelief about manifesting, misbelief about how we handle money or how we energetically prepare or think about money, it takes time to work through those misbeliefs, those misunderstandings. And I would even say getting us unstuck from the lies that we have adapted and started to believe. What do? We're going to pay our bills and we realize we don't have the funds we need. We start to feel this tension in our shoulders, or maybe we start getting migraine headaches. We feel what feels like sciatic pain, sciatic nerve damage in our back. And we feel these physical manifestations happening in our body because of the belief that we have around money. Right? The negativity, the negative thoughts and negative feelings we have around money are manifesting within our body physically. I want to introduce the thought to you that the opposite is true. For some reason, we easily allow the angst and the negative feelings to build up. And it takes a conscious effort, a conscious thought to say, no, I'm going to change and shift my way of thinking right now so I feel better about what's happening. Now, what I have learned to do over time is that when I feel that tension in my body, and as a matter of fact, talking about it right now makes me feel tense in my back. When I feel tension growing in my body, I pause. Now, do I do it right away? Do I do it consistently? More and more in my life, it becomes more a part of the way that I do things. And that is through years of figuring it out through my own trial and error on my own. So I am here as a friend to support you and remind you that when you are feeling a tinge of pain in your shoulders or tension, sometimes we could feel the tension in our muscles before we feel the actual pain. As soon as we start feeling that, you do things like go for a walk, stretch, or maybe just sit back in your chair and relax and take a deep breath and allow yourself to just breathe until your body gets neutralized into a calmer feeling. Breathing in and out helps to do that. So those are a couple of things that I just mentioned that you can do first. The next thing you can do when you go back to your table or wherever you are at your desk to start paying your bills is to remind yourself to have an open mind and to be receptive to good news, good thoughts, positive thoughts on how to manage your funds. You will be amazed at the first time that you do this and an actual positive thought comes to mind, an actual memory of where you have money to pay your bills, an actual thought of income that is coming in that you forgot about in that very moment. So when we open ourselves up, then we are susceptible to receiving the good news on how to manage things versus being stuck in the old way of how manifesting happens, or stuck in the old way of I can't, or this is heavy, or this is painful to pay. It's painful to give away our cash. But actually, if we have that cash to pay, that's a benefit. If we have the ability to say, okay, this is going to wait till next week and this one I could pay now, and we have the ability to communicate that and speak that, that is money. That's positive energy. It may shift a little bit, but this is definitely on the right track of walking closer and closer to manifesting the money that you need when you need that money. So now at this point of deciding what is my mindset going to be around money, you have those decisions to make. And there's the masculine side of that, right? The doing energy of how I'm going to execute on this and how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to plan for it. But the other decision that you need to make is what is the mindset that I want to carry around changing my circumstance, changing my way of life so that I can live the life that I'm meant to live. It's all in the mind, and then it comes into our reality. It is all in the mind, and then it comes into our reality. Both are true. Comes into our physical reality, comes into our energetic reality. And the last thing I want to say is that there's absolutely no benefit to creating a higher cost when things need to be done. There's no benefit to creating a higher cost. That higher cost being the pain, mental anguish, physical manifestation of pain in the body. That is a higher cost to pay. There is no need to do that to yourself anymore now that you know. Instead, choose to pay with confidence. Instead, choose to pay with feelings of gratitude and abundance. Instead, choose to pay with appreciation. Choose to use your masculine energy to do the doing that needs to be done so that you can start getting yourself unstuck. And then you will have the energy to manifest the full life that you really want to manifest. And I help you balance your energy so that you can create the business and the life that finally feels like home, finally feels like you. And right now I am offering a free training called Flowstate Manifesting. If what I shared with you today resonates with you, you are going to love my free training on Flowstate Manifesting. I created Flowstate Manifesting based off of my experience. It's where I teach how to align your energy so manifesting stops feeling like work and starts feeling like flow. I hope to see you there in my free training. Click the link below to join me live or to get the recording. And if you want to check out my other tools on alignment, check out this next video, a manifestation that I created to live your aligned self.